poppin', everybody? It's Onokage, and there was no wait this time. I made sure to get it right. So, what I have for you today is another exciting part 2. What if the Uzumaki clan survived? Chapter 4, to confront hatred. Okay, so this part is exceedingly developmental. It is going to build upon Naruto's character. It's also going to explain what happened to Karin and her team during this mission because it's very different, and I'm positive that a lot of people are interested in what Karin and Nagato and Hinata and Hidate have been throughout this stuff. So I hope that I can get this very clear, and what if Goku and Vegeta trained Naruto and Sasuke will be coming soon. So please stay tuned for another exciting part to that. A lot happens. I think that it's going to go into maybe one extra part for Boruto, but it's probably going to be over soon. So I hope that you're not feeling too sad about that. But I think 14. Now I predict that's going to be 18 parts long, and that's probably where it's going to end. So I hope that you will enjoy that, and I hope that you will enjoy this. So, without further ado, I've talked your ear off long enough. Let's just get... Oh, wait, actually, hold up. I'm going to try something new with this video. It's going to be a little less editing just so I can push it out a little bit faster. I hope that it's not too barren. If it is, let me know. I'll go back to the original style. I just want to keep you entertained, and I want to keep pushing these stories out there. So, it's going to have less going back and forth with the stills and more of my logo possibly as well, and then it's going to have some animation and some stills when conversations are happening. That way I'm not going back and forth with the editing and snipping it all together, and it doesn't take forever to put out a video. So if you like that, let me know. If not, let me know so that I can change it back to normal. All right, so without further ado, let's finally get into it. So let that intro ring.
Whoa. I'm about to go call me a brick, crushing your whole little shit. Whoa. Mars so cold, I pull up on cop with the blow. Now I'm like, whoa. She a brick on the low. Now she want suck on my toes. And I'm like, whoa. You a bummy asshole. Now you want sit on my throne. Nope. Bitch, I'm the king in the house so cold. Pull up on a nigga with a 9-no coat. Spray and pray that the picture go. Kill me a nigga with a Bible pump. She say stop, don't go no more. Well, she my queen, can't treat her wrong. We don't fuck on, we just run on like my dog, bro. We don't slow up. Rundy, now she wanna fuck me, now she wanna hold me down like a Duffy. I can see her, my shotgun gun don't let me run. I'm a demon, I'm a beast, no I can't stop, I'll spin. Whoa, hey, bitch, I'm the king of this shit.
As Team 7 gets back from the recent mission, Naruto is unnaturally silent for him. He's almost like Sasuke. Itachi tries to lighten the mood, but Naruto smiles, saying that he's not hungry. He doesn't want any food right now. But don't let that stop them from having a good time. He flashes a fake smile and heads off to one of the strongest ninja that he knows, and that he knows is free. He uses his Fuingan to find him. As he rushes towards the man, he bows before him. Uncle Nagato, I need help. Nagato helps Naruto off his knees, telling him never to bow in front of him. Nagato then runs his head through Naruto's hair, asking what's wrong. As he says this, Naruto gently grabs his surrogate uncle's hand as he says, my dad told me my mom was like a big sister to you. So I was thinking you might have known some way to keep the fox under control. Nagato is stunned. Naruto never talks about the fox. He bends his knee, getting eye level with Naruto, to see that Naruto is clearly afraid of what he does not know. But he does give Naruto a reassuring smile. But that's when Naruto sees a boy, almost as pale as Nagato, riding on his uncle's back. The boy stays silent, but he stares at Naruto, who tries to ask the kid his name, but the boy still says silent. Nagato is trying to calm the situation down and says, oh, Naruto, this is Ranmaru. I picked him up on our last mission. He was all alone and injured, so I'm looking after him. As he says this, the young boy looks to be on the verge of tears, but he just buries his head in his uncle's shoulders and takes a nap. Nagato continues. But to answer your first question, I'm sorry, but your mother never showed or told me anything regarding the fox, so I can't help you in that way. But show me your Fuingan. Naruto is disappointed, but he nods and does as his uncle requested. He activates his Fuingan, and Nagato notices that Naruto only has 2 rings, and it flickers before it stays, with a subtle golden glow. As he sees this, he thinks, unlike Karin's Fuingan, Naruto shows that he holds an imbalance within himself, an imbalance that runs deeper than the fox. Nagato then drops his smile, his tone growing more serious as he says, "Follow me." Naruto does, not understanding what Nagato wants. He already said that he can't help him. As they go to the mountainside clearing, Naruto questions what Nagato wants, and without a single word, Nagato yells, "Almighty push!" knocking Naruto off of a cliff. Naruto panics. He's too far from the cliff to use his kunai to catch himself, so he forms hand signs. He yells, "Wind style!" Airstream pressure, creating a huge gust of wind that slows his descent and breaking down a few trees as well. Naruto smiles, looking at his power as he safely lands. I just used Grandpa's Jiraiya's move, and now I feel better than ever. And with this sudden burst of energy and adrenaline, he runs up the cliff side at blinding speeds. He's excited as he speaks. "Uncle Nagato, did you see that? That was the first time I could actually do that move. Also, what the hell is wrong with you? Give me a warning next time." Nagato still stays silent, staring at Naruto's hand. Naruto notices his uncle's gaze and lifts his hand to meet his eyes, and once he sees that hand has claws, his earlier pride is washed away with disgust and disappointment. As he begins to understand his uncle's lesson, Nagato walks over to his nephew, bends down to his eye level. "You say you hate the fox, but deep down, you love that power, do you not?" Naruto wants to argue. He wants to say, "No, that's not true," but that would be a lie. He knows it's true, so he stays silent, confirming Nagato's suspicion. He pats his nephew's head to calm him down. "It's nothing to be ashamed of, Naruto. Everyone wants to be strong, either to protect themselves, their family, or friends. There is not a man nor a woman alive who does not value strength." Naruto hangs his head in disappointment as he speaks. But how? How can it be okay to borrow the strength of a monster? How can it be okay to rely on the beast that killed my mother? Nagato smiles. "You have to accept that part of you. The more you fight it, the stronger the imbalance inside you grows, and the weaker you will be, Naruto." Imbalance? Naruto repeats this to himself as Nagato continues. "But I have a plan to help you. Meet me at this spot later on tonight. But for now, I need to rendezvous with my team." Naruto, feeling a bit of joy from hearing his uncle say he knows a way to help, nods as he asks how their first mission went. Nagato scoffs as he tells him to see for himself. So the two walk together to the Uzumaki training grounds, and Naruto can hear Karin arguing with Idate, and he nods her, trying to break them up, but she's so quiet and her presence so uncommanding to be heard. Naruto smiles as he lets out a sigh of relief. As Nagato says, "They completed their mission, but they've been like this ever since we got back." Nagato chuckles. His students are arguing grows louder, and Naruto gets frustrated and yells, "All right, calm down. You guys are supposed to be a team. Why are you at each other's throat?" As Naruto finished his statements, Karin and Idate turn away from each other and walk in opposite directions, leaving Hinata to feebly try to get the group back together. Naruto then walks over to her. Making her blush, he then grabs her hand, leading her to a tree. They sit down and Naruto collects himself, and can see that she's bright red. He pulls his hand away and asks her about the mission. He says that he knows his cousin. She was probably extremely bossy, and it most likely frustrated Idate. But I need to know what happened, and your account is most likely trustworthy. Hinata's face turns red right after that slight compliment from Naruto. He's confused, but she does her best to recount the events, growing more confident as the story goes on. "It started when we received refugees from Katabami Gold Mine. There were 3 of them. They said their village had been taken over by a low-level band of bandits called the Kurosaki family. They were burying anyone who spoke out on their hostile takeover alive. When we were dispatched, everything was fine. We were happy and excited for the mission until one of the refugees was trying to rush us on our journey. He was desperate to save his friends. Idate agreed with him, wanting to pick up speed. Karin refused, saying it'll be pointless to tire themselves out before they reach their destination. And that's when the arguing began. They refused to agree on anything. And when we reached the curry shop, we made it our base. That's when it got worse. Karin wanted to wait to formulate a plan, and Idate wanted to act, stating the longer we wait, the more people die. This was a back and forth until Karin said what we were all thinking. She yelled, "Idate, what are you trying to prove? Both of you should know that those people are already dead." Idate and the refugee, hearing the cold delivery of Karin's statement, the two began yelling at her in denial of the fact. It was a day of travel, and this time Nagato sensei speaks up. As cold-blooded as her statement was, Karin is most likely right. Someone buried alive should only survive for 5 to 6 hours, and we still don't know how long it took you to reach the leaf. And considering how banged up you were, I'd say it was at least a day. As that was said, the refugee and Idate fell to their knees in disbelief, still stuck in denial. As nightfall hit, the two of them snuck out, and as they reached the graveyard, they began to dig up the body of the refugee's close friend, and it begins to rain. As they pull up the coffin, a bolt of lightning strikes the cliff above them. They open the coffin and the refugee sees his friend's lifeless body with dried blood where his fingernails should be. And that's when they hear laughter, and they're surrounded by the Kurosaki family, and the leader speaks. "My eyes told me he grew desperate as his oxygen began to run out. He began to scratch at the coffin till his fingers started to bleed, and he suffocated. His funeral was beautiful. He was an amazing man." Idate looks at the man, and only a few words come to mind. "Wow. You really are crazy, huh, mister?" He then clasps his hands together and yells, "Earth style! Earth dragon bullets!" shooting clumps of high-velocity mud at the surrounding low-level ninja, who are unable to avoid the attack. They are knocked unconscious from the force, but their leader seems to have some sense of precognition, dodging effortlessly and channeling a lightning bolt from the sky. Idate tries to move his legs, but he can't. He's afraid. And even if he could, it's lightning. There's no way he can move that fast. Those speeds. So he accepts his fate. He then closes his eyes, waiting for death to come, but it doesn't. Instead, he feels himself being thrown away as he hears Karin and Hinata scream Nagato sensei's name. Nagato took the bolt of lightning for him. He took it head on, but it isn't enough to kill him. His muscles are numb, so he can't move right now, leaving Team 11 versus Raga. So, editor's note, I found recently from a commenter that Team 9, what I originally assigned Team Nagato as, is actually Guy's team. And editor's note, is actually going to be Team 6. I'm dumb. Sorry, I messed up again. So, Nagato just got hit by a bolt of lightning, his muscles are numb so he can't move, and it leaves Team 9 versus Raga of the 7 ninja swords of the mist. He shoots a bolt of lightning from his swords, and Idate goes on the defense, creating a mud wall. Behind it, Karin activates her Fuingan. She has 3 rings in her eyes, and Hinata activates her Byakugan. Karin can see that Raga is made up of 2 chakra signatures, but then she can also see that there's a whole bunch of chakra signatures around. So can Hinata. They quickly find out that these are fake chakra signatures, created by the second chakra signature that hides on Raga's back. So Karin tries to form a plan, but Idate yells, "We already have a plan. The target is right in front of us. We take him down." And that's when Hinata yells. After her training sessions with Nozumi and Karin, she has a bit more confidence. She stares down Idate, making him uncomfortable from this sudden act of confidence from her, and all the more willing to listen. "You have to focus, Idate. This isn't a game. This man is a murderer and will be next. And Karin, we can't be sitting ducks, so we have to keep moving. Stop arguing for a bit and focus on the mission. They nod, and Hidate rushes out, using a clone jutsu at high speeds in an attempt to confuse Raga, but it proves futile in that effort, but highly effective as a distraction, as Karin uses most of her chakra to place the strongest seal she knows on Hinata's hand, the Daikoku Dragon seal, and Hinata rushes out at high speeds during Hidate's distraction. She's spotted and a bolt of lightning is shot at her, but she raises her hand that the seal was on, and the bolt of lightning is absorbed by the seal. It disappears as she closes the distance, striking the chakra points on his right arm and leg. Hidate tries to kick him across the back, but all it does is tear off the sack that Raga had. And Raga yells the name Ranmaru. As he freaks out, begins to panic, he attempts to stab Hidate, but with his left arm, but he's stopped and aggressively pulled away by Nagato, who holds Raga by the throat after using Almighty Pull, slamming him into the ground, knocking him unconscious. He then pierces his hands with a chakra rod, and as it absorbs the chakra, it kills him gently. While he's unconscious, he felt no further pain. He then walks over to his team, and they walk to the sack that Hidate kicked off. It holds a small child, no older than 4, maybe 6. His leg is broken from Hidate's kick. As they crowd around the boy, he shows no emotion or fear. Karin asks what they should do, when the boy says that they should just kill him. They all hold a face of shock, except for Nagato, who asks the child, "Do you really wish to die?" The boy begins to look towards the sky that's cloudy, full of rain, as he says, "The man you just killed was my reason for living, Raga. He gave me purpose. My body was always weak, so weak that I couldn't leave my bed. And eventually, when the villagers found out about my eyes, they stopped feeding me. I was bound to starve to death. But he gave me strength, and I became his eyes." As that's said, Hinata, of all people, yells, "He was just using you. That's no reason to look up to anyone." The boy then says, "Since when is using a tool you own wrong?" That's when Nagato lifts the child, smiling as he says, "I didn't have much reason to live for myself either. After my parents died in the war, I was lost. I had no one. If it wasn't for Kushina, I'd be just like you. Would you mind if I asked you your name, child?" The boy looks at this man, curious, hanging on to his every word. He stares into his spiral eyes, saying they're special just like his. He tells him his name, Ranmaru. My name is Ranmaru." Nagato continues, "Well, Ranmaru, don't you think it'd be more fun to laugh with your friends than cry for every sin they commit?" The boy's face lights up. It's as if for that moment the rain stopped and the clouds parted, revealing the sun behind this man. And the man before him is akin to salvation and freedom. He begins to cry, saying that he's sorry. He'll atone for his sins. He'll atone for what he's done. He doesn't really want to die. He's in tears, and Nagato holds him close, being mindful of his leg. And that's when Karin starts to yell at Hidate for acting on his own. And that's when he yells back at her for sitting on her ass without making a move. And that's when Hinata ends the story. So that's about it, Naruto. You think you can help? At that second, Naruto's stomach starts to grumble, as he tells her to follow him to Ichiraku, his treat. He then makes 2 shadow clones, and they rush out and grab Karin and Hidate. They all eat. The atmosphere is tense. They're silent. As Naruto finishes his first bowl of ramen, he says, "You're both idiots." Hidate gets mad while Karin just laughs. "Well, if you're saying that, Naruto, then I messed up, huh?" Naruto shakes his head, getting a second bowl. "You both did. Hidate, you went off on your own. You endangered your team and you got my uncle hurt. If the enemy was stronger, you would have all been dead. And Karin, when you're under fire, taking too much time is suicide." The only one that was affected was Hinata. She got you all under control. He finishes the second bowl, asking for thirds, and Hinata's about to finish her bowl too, but she begins to choke from the surprise of Naruto's comment. He then pats her back. She says thank you, seeing that it's Naruto. She then rushes away, her face beet red. Naruto smiles as he makes a joke to himself, saying that our talks are nice. He's about to rush after her. Then he looks at Itachi and Karin, telling them to make up. As he rushes out to her, he activates his Fumigan to find her. She's surprisingly fast. This time his head isn't foggy, and he can see her chakra signature clearly. He then walks up to her. She apologizes for running away, and he says it doesn't really matter. He was about to go train anyway. He tells her that if she works on that timidness, she'll be a great leader for her team. He gives her a smile and a thumbs up as he heads off to train with his team. As he reaches them, he apologizes for being so weird earlier. They understand, knowing what it was, and begin training till night. And since it is night, once they finish training, Naruto goes to the cliff where he was with Nagato and Ramaru earlier. He sees the two of them enjoying some snacks. Naruto bows before Nagato, and Nagato tells him to sit down beside them. He does, and as they begin to relax and chat for a bit, Naruto learns more about Ramaru, his past, and being Naruto, he smiles and offers to be his guide and a friend. Naruto even gets the boy to laugh as they form a bond. After a bit, Naruto feels his uncle's hand on his head. It's very comfortable and relaxing. And also, it feels like he's growing weaker. And he looks at Ramaru one more time to see that his eyes are glowing red. He blinks, and as he opens his eyes, there's another Naruto staring at him, with eyes full of hatred and a smile of malice. Naruto first dismisses this as a clone. He tries to form the code seal to dismiss this, but he's then punched in the face by the clone as it yells, "Every day, for as long as I can remember, the villagers looked at me, no different than a mangy dog." Naruto was then punched again, but this is strange. The clone, full of hatred, it begins to cry. "I know Dad blames me for Mom's death." Naruto now knows what this is, what he's looking at. "You're my anxiety. You're my hatred. Is this your test, Uncle?" Activating his Fumigan, he yells that he won't lose. He's matching the clone blow for blow, but he's quickly overpowered as the clone gives himself over to the fox's power. Naruto is being beaten into the ground as the clone yells, "They don't love me. They pity me." The clone slashes at Naruto, but he dodges, rolling on his side, out of the way of the attack. He then throws a kick at the clone to counter him, but his leg is grabbed by the clone and he's thrown near the edge of the cliff, his head hanging over the edge. The clone roars, "No matter what I do, they'll always see me as a monster." The clone roars and rushes at Naruto, growing a chakra cloak that presses one tail. The clone then presses his clones to Naruto's throat as he begins to cry again. Why? Why does everyone know their mom but me? Naruto, hearing those words, starts to smile as he grabs the clone's hand. It makes the clone hesitate. Feeling alone hurts, but that's not who we are. The clone backs away, timid, but then again roars. They would make rules so their kids couldn't be our friends. Naruto then smiles, but we always had Karin, Nozumi, and Sasuke. Naruto stands and hugs the clone of malice as the clone roars in his ears. "We were forced to suffer, to endure the pain of being a prison for a monster." Naruto then smiles again. "We chose to be a ninja, and to be a ninja is to endure." The clone falls to his knees, but they blame me for his crimes. They treat me like the monster he is. And that's when it hits Naruto. We aren't the fox. If we use his power, it's our power. We won't let him hurt us anymore. And that's when Naruto hears a faint growl. The clone is in tears, holding onto Naruto's shoulders. But what does that make me? Does that make me a mistake? Where do I go? Naruto then holds his clone tighter. I have you, and you have me. This fear, this pain, this anxiety we feel, it won't just go away, but we can work together to make it more bearable, so that eventually we can overcome this. So for now, work with me. And as that said, the clone dissipates. Naruto then activates his Fumingan to find his uncle and new nephew, and he finds that calling forth that power no longer strains him. In fact, when he has his Fumingan active, he feels stronger. He finds them hiding behind a tree, and they congratulate him for awakening his third ring in his Fumingan. And Nagato states that your Fumingan has become something more powerful. And after a few days, Naruto starts to understand what he means. He's getting used to his new eyes and power and training with his team. That's when they find they're nominated by Itachi to partake in the Chunin exams. As they enter the hall to turn in their forms, they're confronted by a boy in a green jumpsuit, Rock Lee. He's excited by all three members of Team 7. He wants to fight all of them, but for now he settles with just one, asking which one will be willing to spar with him in a quick taijutsu match. All three raise their hands in excitement, loving competition. So, they settle this with a simple game. Rock, paper, scissors. And the winner is Sasuke, who has a Sharingan active, imitating his brother who keeps a Sharingan active during all missions and training. They square off. Naruto, Nozumi, Neji, and Tenten watch from the sidelines. The two boys rush at each other. At speeds Nozumi needs her Sharingan to see properly. Lee then unleashes a leaf hurricane, outspeeding Sasuke and his Sharingan. And instead of frustration, Sasuke gets excited, loving this challenge. He's determined to win. They rush each other again, but thanks to the Sharingan, Sasuke has learned a bit more of Lee, and he's keeping up with him. Both are excited and enjoying this little bout. But Lee's about to take it up a notch, kicking Sasuke in the chin before he could react. And he moves at speeds Naruto and Uzumi couldn't track. And he's behind Sasuke. Neji calls off this fight, saying that they shouldn't show their hands yet. He smiles and walks away into the test room. Sasuke looks at his team. This just got a lot more exciting. Let's move. And as they're about to head into the hall, they hear a voice behind them. Yo, wait just one moment. And it's Guy Sensei. He's standing behind them with a big smile on his face, looking unnaturally cool and insanely clumsy. Guy Sensei walks over to them and says, "You're the boys trained by Itachi, right?" They nod. Nozumi scratches her head saying, "Boys?" Lee just Guy pats her on the back with a smile. "Don't worry about it." So, Itachi had training from Kakashi, which makes Itachi one of my rivals. And since you're trained by Itachi, you're my students' rivals. So I ask, when you fight Lee again, make sure to give him a good fight. And as this is being said and these conversations are happening, Kakashi and Shisui have found some very, very interesting details on the whereabouts of Obito in the Bloody Mist Village. And I think that's where I'm going to end the story this week. All right, so what'd you think? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you want more? If the answer to all those questions is yes, please tell me why. I'm curious. Other than that, I hope you could see what I did for Naruto this chapter in developing his character, making him different from the regular Naruto from Shonen. This Naruto is a lot smarter. He is stronger, and he's way more quick-witted. He also has a lot more psychological trauma than OG Naruto has when he's OG Naruto is more go with the flow, doesn't matter, doesn't study type dude. This Naruto is the exact opposite. He studies, he learns, and he watches people. And because he studies and learns and watches people, he feels like he can notice all these small things about people, and it fills him with anxiety because he doesn't really feel loved after being treated so badly from the villagers. His father's always busy, so he doesn't have that reassurance at home sometimes, and he just feels alone in a world where he doesn't need to have those feelings, so he questions why all the time. And it's giving him really bad anxiety problems, fear, and now that he has a beast that he knows is responsible for his mother's death, inside of him, he feels fear of himself and what he holds. So I just wanted to break for that and show that he does have really bad anxiety problems and demonstrate how he's working to overcome them in this chapter by giving him a mirror match through Ramaru's ability to create chakra signatures and Nagato's Rinnegan abilities draining his soul so he can create a hallucination for Naruto to see while he's at this weakened state. So I hope that makes sense to you. It wasn't a genjutsu technically, it was more just stuff happening in Naruto's head. Because his body was weak, his mind was relaxed, and his anxieties and fears and personal things took form in front of him that he genuinely had to confront. And also, I gave his Fumingan a new look. I think it looks very, very cool. It's going to evolve again once he learns Sage Mode, because he's still going to learn it in this story because dry is such a big part of his life. I'm not going to tell you when he's going to learn it, but it's coming soon. This what if at this point in the story is going to move a bit faster now, simply because this Naruto is just, I don't want to say better. He is physically superior and mentally superior than the OG Naruto, so he's going to be able to handle problems in a much more effective way. And now that he's overcoming his anxiety, he's going to be stronger and more effective in what he wants to do and what he needs to do. He's also not going to have the exact same powers that Naruto had in canon. So I want you to understand this one's going to go a bit more faster at this point. I'm still going to keep the story very detailed so that you're not going to miss any things about it. And next chapter, I'm going to focus on Kakashi a little bit more. Kakashi and Shisui's journey a little bit more, while Naruto, Sasuke, Nozumi, and all the other Leaf Getting are in the Forest of Death. I'm also going to talk about the exams. I mean, obviously, God. So basically, I want to tell you a what if story. God damn it. All right. So the first comment comes from my Kakashi song I just did called Best Friend. It's very somber. If you guys like that, I do want more feedback on it because I feel like my singing was really off. I kind of want to take the video down and re-upload it with better singing. Because I think the raps was really cool. I think the story that I was telling about Kakashi was very iconical to Kakashi. But the comment is from Jalen Aries, who says, do a Naruto one after. And your wish is my command, my friend. It's coming soon. I'm working on it. I went through a few different beats and instrumentals because I was trying to get the words right. And I want to get the feeling right for what I want to portray through this Naruto song. I don't know what I'm going to title it yet. It has a very braggadocious yet animalistic vibe to it. Also very good with storytelling on it. The lyrics are half done now. I'm probably going to finish it later on today and work on it. I'll probably finish it today, the song, because I don't know. For some reason, these anime raps are really fun and easy to write. So with that being said, let's move on to our next comment, and that comes from KD Gamer God, who is the one who corrected me about the Team 9 mix-up that I had during the last chapter. Well, not last chapter, on part 2. Who says, did you mean to make Nagato's team 6? because Guy is still Team 9. Fuck, I fucked up again. God dang it. All right, so they're Team 6, not Team 11. Team 11 is probably something else, and I messed up. Jesus, what's wrong with me? My memory sucks. Okay. Next comment comes from Fusion Raiders, which is on the What If Frieza Turned Good, which a part is coming soon to that one. I just want to put the next Goku versus Vegeta. I mean, Goku and Vegeta train Naruto and Sasuke one out first because that one has a lot of attention to it. The Frieza one does not have that many views on it. So I'm gonna put a new chapter up to it, see if people really like that one, bring it back. And if you do, it's gonna continue. He asks, can you do a what if Goku Jr. went back in time, like far, far back, like to the Frieza saga? Which I think will be actually interesting because Goku Jr., I really, really liked his character in GT. Like, I would say out of GT, the end of GT is the best part. Not because it's the end, not just because it's the end of GT and GT, but because Goku Jr. was such an interesting character. He's not Goku. He's finding himself. I think he'll be very interesting to write for. So I really kind of want to hammer in those interactions between Goku and Goku Jr. I think those would be really fun. So let's go on to the next comment, which comes from Bryce McCorder, who says he needs someone to animate this. And this is from What the Uzumaki Clan Survived Part 2, A Child's Dream. Honestly, if someone wants to, I'm not going to ask for it. But if somebody wants to, dude, that would be genuinely amazing. Because animation is so gosh darn hard. I talked about this in my chapter review I did for the My Hero Academia chapter 294, which I can't post because my laptop doesn't have a memory card reader. I'm going to go to Walmart today and see if I can buy one. And if I can, you'll get that video tomorrow. And then I'll do another chapter review of the most recent chapter because I am going to read it later today or probably tonight after I take a nap and clean my apartment. Yeah, I am going to do chapter reviews. I really want to. And I talked about animation and artwork and styles and the art in the manga. And I also talked about the story that was happening a bit. I try to analyze it a little bit more, talk about my predictions for this next chapter, which I'm going to read today. I hope that they come true. If they do, that'll be awesome. If not, I mean, I'll be waiting because I feel like what I said makes a lot of sense. If you could see it, you will understand what I'm talking about. All right, now let's get on to the last comment before we get to our closing topics. And this last comment comes from the Kakashi song again, Best Friend. It says, yo, what's the song from your outro? Is it on SoundCloud or your King Code YouTube channel? It's not on either yet. The song is called Familiar. It's the outro that I'm going to be using for the videos for the foreseeable future. I really like that song. I worked on it really hard with my little brother, but he's not proud of his verse he put in it. So we're changing it. I don't know when we'll post it because he doesn't have much free time. He's living my dream of being a firefighter. He's in school right now training to be one, and I'm so goddamn proud of him. Man, I wanted to get in it so bad, but I'm still stuck at flipping Amazon. So with what he's doing, I really wish that I could do it too. He's living my dream right now, and he doesn't know how proud that makes me because I'm too prideful to tell him. I love that little dude, man. But yeah, no, it's not on SoundCloud or YouTube or it's SoundCloud or my YouTube channel because it's not done. My part is what I use because I really liked my part, and I think that it has a really good, outro feel to it because you want the intro to be more live and bombastic and the outro to be more somber so that, it leaves you with that closing feeling. If you go back to any of the videos, I think that it looks good. I did a lot of work editing it. I found the clip online. It's called Shinobi Sisters, and it has Hinata, Sakura, Ino, and Tintin. And I think I matched it pretty well with the beat. And I think I want to do one more comment because this dude has been probably one of my longest subscribers. It's B5G Joshua. And he says, man's got ads now. I've been here since day one. Good job. Keep up the good work. And yeah, man, like, it's thanks to y'all. But I've noticed that my King Cole channel has ads too. So I don't think that, I think that YouTube just puts ads on videos at random now. But I do see small returns from these ads. And I'm happy that people like the content so much that I'm at the point where I can, you know, make some scratch from this. I am genuinely grateful towards all of you. It means the world that y'all like this stuff, and y'all are the reason why I'm going to continue this. I'm going to try and make this channel something more. I want to put effort into this. It's giving me hope that maybe I can make a career from being an entertainer and telling stories and making my own shows and stuff. So if you like my music, please share my music. And I'm not talking about the anime music. I'm talking about the music that's like based on my life and based around my life that I put on my King Cole channel and my SoundCloud. I'm actually trying to make a video, music video today or tomorrow for one of my songs. And if y'all want to come see it, I'll most likely link it tell about it in the beginning of one of my videos. And dude, y'all really have given me a hope that I can create a career that I want and not be forced in a career that I need, basically. So I hope that y'all continue to like and enjoy the stuff that I'm putting out so that I can continue to do it and hopefully make a living off of this and not just extra dosh that I need for, you know, bills and stuff. They got a little sentimental. Yeah, seriously though, you guys are amazing, man. It's really awesome that people actually like this content, and it's awesome that I can continue to produce content that y'all like. It's hard not to get sentimental about this because it's crazy how far this has gone. What, we've been doing this for 4 months now, and God, man, this is awesome. It really is. Before I actually bust down crying about this stuff, I do want to get to the ending. I want to get to the closing statements. Again, I am procrastinating on my 90-day things that I was trying to do on the 18th. I'm still going to do it. I want you all to keep me on the fucking date. Like, if I do not make that video by the date that I said before, I don't remember that date, but that video is not up by that date, spam me, call me all types of trash, garbage, and stuff like that, because I need that feeling of disappointment so that I can rise above it. I really want to do this. I think it's going to inspire a lot of people. And if I do it, I know for a fact it's going to make me happier. I'm getting back into painting again. If I have time, I'll put the picture of the painting that I started. It's not finished yet, but it's started, and it's making me happy to see that I'm actually still good at painting. I want to do something really cool with it. I'm going to do a lot more exercising. I'm trying to get my body right so I can be happy in my own body. I'm trying to get my diet right so that I can have more energy to record and stuff. I really want this video to come out because I know that it's going to inspire a lot of people to make their lives better too. Because not being happy sucks. Like, and it's a weird feeling when you know you should be happy in a situation because what's happening is good, but you just can't bring yourself to smile. I don't know what I have or why it's like, or why I'm like this sometimes, but I feel like doing this will help. So I'm going to put my all into it. I'm going to stop procrastinating. I'm going to first clean my dusty ass apartment and make stuff right in my life so that I'm not so sad. Or just not sad, just not happy. So, with that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe. Watch the King Onokage out.
Nobody speak, nobody get choked. If you run the homie, gonna get smoked. No time for the lame ass jokes. I'm the GOAT. You a gringo when that story's been told. What's wrong? I make money moves, controlling every view. Oh no. You got hella crew, but no one's helping you. What's wrong? Now you on your own, you really want to smoke? Oh no. Chico really done did wrong. What's wrong? The hollow meta in this college, bro. Wow. Keep talking crazy, I might go post-o. Yeah. Always trouble when they go too far. Yeah. Nobody messing me familiar. Father.